Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Peace, Virginia. Let me holler at you. I found something. So yesterday, my off day, when I'm off, I like to, catch public transportation and just, people watch us. So just like ride the bus or ride a train and just, just go. Right. So I started thinking slavery is still a thing. Slavery is not abolished at all. Right. So I found my way to the 13th Amendment. The 13th Amendment, per National Constitution Center, the 13th Amendment is the amendment that abolishes slavery, except it abolishes slavery except for when a crime has been committed, right? So, 13th Amendment reads as such, and this is from the National Constitution Center, right? Section 1. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for a crime whereof the party shall be duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subjected to their jurisdiction. That's Section 1. Section 2 goes on to say, Congress shall have the power to enforce by appropriate legislation. So the 13th Amendment abolishes slavery, except for, the presence of when a crime has been committed, right? So then I started going a little deeper, right? So the conditions of release in Virginia, right? And by the way, I'm not really sure how the process goes for brothers and sisters with misdemeanors, right? My research is felony based. This is the felony edition. But conditions of release in Virginia, when a felony is attached to you, right? So released of accused, convicted or prior convictions on secure or unsecure bond or promise to appear. These persons shall maintain employment or actively seek, maintain or commence educational programming, right? So after you've done your servitude, you're in Virginia, you got a felony, right? And part of your release conditions is to maintain employment or actively seek it, or education, or, actively seek that. So then I started going, just a little deeper, right? So the consequences of having a felony attached to you in Virginia, the consequences of having a felony attached to you in Virginia are as follows. You lose access to state programming. You lose access to jury duty. You lose access to firearms. You lose access to voting rights. You lose access to benefits. You lose access to professional licensings. You lose access to housing. You lose access to jobs. You lose access to scholarships. So the 13th Amendment, right? Slavery is unless a crime has been committed, right? So that person, completes that servitude, for that extended period of period of time, right? So then the person gets out, right? And then their conditions of release is to maintain employment or actively seek it, and or commence or maintain educational programming, right? Now, having a felony attached to you in Virginia, right? It strips away from you state programming. It strips away from you professional licenses. It strips away benefits. It strips away voting rights. It strips away firearms, jury duty, housing, jobs, and scholarships. So after you've done your legal servitude, and after you get out and you're supposed to be an American citizen again, it's like you're still doing time after you have done time, right? Because if you're supposed to, part of your release conditions, if you're supposed to maintain employment and or actively seek and or commence or maintain educational programming. But having a felony in Virginia strips away scholarships from you, and it also strips away housing from you, and it also strips away jobs from you. How is a person supposed to, you understand? So by now, I'm pretty sure we all know it's a game, and they pencil whipping the shit out of niggas. Now, I'm not trying to teach anybody anything. I just had a thought and I wanted to share with motherfuckers, right? So, the 13th Amendment, slavery is except for when the crime has been committed. Crime been committed, person go to jail, person becomes a slave. Servitude is up, person is not a slave anymore and is a contributing member of society, right? Now, your release conditions in Virginia with a felony attached to you, your release conditions, okay, is to maintain or actively seek employment, commence or maintain educational program. But with that felony on you, jobs are stripped from you, scholarships are stripped from you, housing is stripped from you. I don't want to say that's not fair. Fuck all that. But what I'm saying is like anybody picking up what the fuck I'm laying down, right? So you got this amendment that's okay in slavery. You got release conditions that's giving you a massive fuss bravado, making it look like you have certain rights back. And this is what you're supposed to do. But then having that felony on you strips certain things from you, right? So also, and you lose. I found this out. You lose your, what is that? You lose your civil rights as a felon in Virginia. You lose your civil rights, right? And there's a process on getting that back. I had just found out the person who can give civil rights back to felons in Virginia is the governor. So you have the 13th Amendment. Slavery is legalized because of a crime. You get out, you have your certain release conditions. Okay, now be an active, productive member of society, right? But you lose access to these things. How are you supposed to be a productive member? How are you supposed to contribute to society? How are you supposed to feed yourself? How are you supposed to upkeep yourself? How are you supposed to maintain, right? So, and again, I'm not teaching anybody anything. I just found some shit. I had a thought. Did some research. I found some shit, wanted to share some shit, right? So everybody stay vigilant. I don't want to say stay woke. I feel like people use that. I feel like that's like hater, right? I feel like people use that like just too loosely, like coming from the hip and shit, right? But everybody stay vigilant. Everybody stay aware and teach the babies. Slavery is legal because a crime exists. You get out, the gag is you're a citizen again. You go to be a productive member of society. You're getting shut down in the job market. You're getting shut down in the education market. You're getting shut down in voting rights. You're getting shut down state programming. You're getting shut down on professional licenses if you want to change your career. You're getting shut down who wants to be on jury duty, but you're getting shut down on being a juror. You get shut down on voting rights and firearms, right? So everybody just be aware. Everybody be vigilant. And please teach the babies. Peace.